Thank you for joining me here on the last segment of today's show. Just quickly going over the rest of the week one matchups and seeing who's going to win and who's going to lose. We're going to predict the winners of the next 14 games after tonight's game. There's going to be 14 games left all the way through Monday. We're going to go through them and predict who's going to end up being the winner in those contests. And we're going to start off just quickly here with the Steelers and the Atlanta Falcons at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Steelers traveling to Atlanta to face the Falcons. A lot going into this matchup. Arthur Smith going back to Atlanta to where he was the head coach in last year. Who's going to start at quarterback now for the Steelers seems to be a legitimate question with Russell Wilson tweaking that calf injury that he had. I just saw a report, not even kidding, like a minute or two ago that from Ian Rappaport that according to him, it looks like Justin Fields is going to start. So whether that ends up being the case or Russell Wilson plays, it still seems to be a mystery. And on the other side, the Falcons introducing their new quarterback, Kirk Cousins, into their team, this new season, this new era, also with Raheem Morris, Zach Robinson. Who is going to win this matchup? It's going to be closer probably than a lot of people think. The Steelers defense got better. The Falcons defense got better. Falcons at home to open up this year. I feel like this quarterback thing with the Steelers is really messing with me. I wanted Russ to start. You guys know that. I've made it evident that I wanted Russ to start. But now having Justin Fields start, and it's really throwing me off now. Let's go. I swear I had Pittsburgh winning, but I think I'm going to change it to the Falcons winning just because you can't have this quarterback question just not knowing who's going to start days before the start of the regular season. So I had Pittsburgh on my sheet, but we're going to go with the Falcons winning this one at home. I think they're just geared up to finally show everyone what they have in store for everyone. So we're going to go with the Falcons at home winning that one. Then just moving down the line, we have the Cardinals traveling to Buffalo, taking on the Bills again at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I think this one's a bit easier. I think Buffalo will win this game. People are high on the Cardinals, high on Kyler Murray coming back with Marvin Harrison Jr., but even still, I feel like Josh is one of those quarterbacks in that realm with Lamar and Patrick, obviously, where he can single-handedly cover up for a lot of their mishaps and bad plays. And I think there could be some of that early on, like there is with most teams, but they have a new look offense coming in. They don't know who their number one target is going to be, how this defense is going to look now. Even still, I think with Josh, when you have one of those guys, I think more often than not they come through, especially at home. The Cardinals traveling all the way across the country in Buffalo. I think it's a tall task to ask for in week one. So I'm going to go with Buffalo taking that one over the Arizona Cardinals. Then continuing to move down the line, the Patriots traveling to Cincinnati at 1 p.m. Eastern Time again. Another easy one. I think the Bengals will win this one. I saw that T. Higgins was doubtful for this game because of a hamstring injury. That was some pretty surprising news to me. Jamar Chase, also unsure of whether or not he's going to play. He had some pretty interesting quotes to say today on his contract. He said that he views it as today, being the deadline to get a new deal done. And, we still have a couple hours left here, Eastern Time. We have about 5 to 4 hours left. Maybe Jamar gets a contract late, like Tua got or Jordan Love did a couple weeks ago. But if he gets that contract, he also said that he is likely to play this season without that contract. So it looks like he could play, but how much he does in this game will be huge because he's not coming off of a lot of practice. And also, if you don't have T. Higgins there and potentially a limited Jamar, it could make it close. But, Joe Burrow, just like Josh Allen, he is one of those guys. So the Patriots just starting off here. I feel like Cincinnati will take this one at home. Then the Vikings travel to New York to take on the New York Giants. Justin Jefferson back, hopefully healthy for the entire season for my fantasy team's sake, playing the New York Giants in New York. New quarterback also for the Vikings, Sam Darnold, officially will be the quarterback this year. Interesting quarterback battle, right? Daniel Jones versus Sam Darnold. Nobody probably expected that to be the case in week one, but here we are. The Vikings coming in with a new team. On offense, they're going to be without TJ Hawkinson. They have Aaron Jones. How much is he used right off of the bat? Just again, how does Sam Darnold look as the starting quarterback here? Getting another opportunity and a great offense with Kevin O'Connell. I feel like a lot of quarterbacks could be successful with him. Hopefully Sam Darnold does the same. With the Giants, a lot of rummaging through a lot of just extracurricular things this offseason, so I don't think they'll be able to get everything in order just yet. I like the Vikings' chances here going to New York. Funny enough, I saw an interview with Justin Jefferson, how he was still a little bit salty that the Giants knocked him out of his first ever playoff appearance, so don't be surprised if Justin Jefferson has a day against the Giants, and I think that'll be enough for the Vikings to win that game. Then we have Tennessee at Chicago. Two young quarterbacks going at it. Two very new teams on either side. A lot of new pieces with the Titans, a lot of new pieces with the Bears. In Chicago, a lot of excitement in that town for the first time in a long time with Caleb. All their offensive weapons, their defense is looking great. Tennessee coming into this game as well. It looks like DeAndre Hopkins is going to play alongside Tyler Boyd, Calvin Ridley, Will Levis. How does he look in this new system under Brian Callahan? I saw a crazy record that rookie quarterbacks are like 1-22-1 in their last 24 starts. So because of that, I'm a stickler for things like that. I'm a big believer in those records. No rookie quarterback hardly ever wins in their first game, something like that. So I'm gonna go with Tennessee based off of that fact. Chicago's a great team. I have them in the playoffs this year, but it's going to be a rough start. I think just getting everything in order. Give me the Titans in that game. Then we look at the Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. Similar situation we hear with the Panthers. They're essentially starting over again from last year. From starting over last year, they're basically doing the same thing. I like their team better. I like Dave Canales and what he can bring to this team, but New Orleans has a better roster overall. They have better players, and they're at a more experienced level in the Superdome. I like New Orleans to win this one at home. Then the Jaguars at Miami, two quarterbacks that got massive extensions this year. A big debate here at GSMC, the Sports Network, between these two quarterbacks. It's going to be a great conversation on Monday on who ends up winning this game. But who I think is going to win this game, I think that the Dolphins will ultimately win this game. I like their team better. I like their offense better. And I might even say that I like Tua a little bit better. Just how he fits into this offense. Mike McDaniel, I really like his ideas and how his offense is run. And their defense also is not as bad to the point where they're getting overlooked. They have Ramsey. I like Jalen Phillips. He's coming off of an injury. Once they get Bradley Chubb back as well, they're going to be a good team. Javon Holland is a very underrated player as well. I like what they're doing on this side of the ball. I like how they've built up this roster, and I have them winning the division. I think it starts here. Give me the Dolphins in this matchup. Then Houston and the Indianapolis Colts, the last game in the 1 o'clock window. Texans making their debut with this new all-pro, all-star roster that they have. How everything comes together, similar to the Eagles, similar to the Ravens as well, like we talked about on this show. But the difference here is that they really have like two new guys, and I feel like they're very, compared to the Eagles, because they have a new identity coming in with Kellen Moore, and similar to the Ravens as well, like I said, with Derek, very similar impact that he can make with Lamar. I think the Texans already have an identity established with Slowick, their offensive coordinator, and Nico and Tank and CJ. I like their chances on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson, I haven't seen enough out of him yet. I think he could be good, but I just would like to see more out of him. The Texans start this year 1-0. Then into the 4 o'clock windows, we have the Raiders taking on the Chargers. I like, as crazy as it may sound, I like the Chargers winning in this game. The quarterback position for the Raiders is a questionable one with Justin Herbert at home. the way that the Chargers will try to play this season. I like what they have going for them in their roster right now with Jim Harbaugh, how they're trying to establish the run. This is one of my more surprising picks, the ones I try to pick an underdog, if you will say. I'm pretty sure they are the underdog in this game. So I'd like the Chargers to surprise this Raiders team on the road with Gardner Minshew coming in there. They'll take the win at home in Los Angeles. Then we look at this Broncos game with the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. I like Seattle winning this one. I like Mike Macdonald as their new head coach. There's too many new beginnings with this Broncos team. New rookie quarterback coming in, obviously. There's a lot of holes on this defense that I think will stand out a little bit more than they did, obviously, in the preseason. And I like Seattle, what they have going for them. You know, Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, obviously. Geno, in a prove-it year for him. Their defense is they have good players on their defense with Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen as well. I think they have more to get them over the line at home. Then the Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns, two quarterbacks that are under enormous amounts of pressure in each of their respected, situations. Give me the Cleveland Browns because I just finished talking about the Cowboys and how they're in a lose-lose situation. I don't think it helps traveling into Cleveland against that defense. No way. Not in week one. I think the Browns take this one. Then the final three here, the Commanders taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like Jaden Daniels. I'm hopping on the bandwagon of the Commanders. I have been on it for a while now. I have them finishing second in the division. I think it starts here. They get a big road win in Tampa. Dan Quinn, Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Jaden Daniels showing out in his first contest, making a statement, winning on the road. I like the Commanders in this game. Then the Rams and the Detroit Lions, one of the more anticipated ones. In Sunday Night Football, again, a rematch of last year's playoff game where the Lions won that game. I think this time the Los Angeles Rams win it. In Matthew Stafford, he gets a second chance to come back to Detroit, and you don't think he's going to win. He's going to be more motivated to win this game. They only won last year, the Lions did, by 1 point. I think the Rams, they've reinvented themselves here a little bit, or they brought in some more weapons like Blake Corum, some more defensive pieces on that side of the ball. I think they're going to be uber motivated. Matthew Stafford, I can't have him going 0-2 back-to-back years against his old team. I like the Rams to surprise everyone on Sunday Night Football. And then lastly, one of the bigger games as well, the Jets traveling to San Francisco on Monday Night Football. As much as I want to see a surprise win by the Jets, I think it would throw a lot of people off. I think San Francisco will take it. I think traveling across the country, Rodgers' record against the 49ers isn't great anyway. They also have a lot of new pieces, a lot of ways to figure out this offense still, its true identity. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. They're very relieved to have Williams and Brandon Ayuk back. I think they'll take this one. They'll take care of business at home over the New York Jets. And with that being said, that wraps up today's show. We went through all the games. I got my picks in there. I'll come back to this episode and see how much I got right, and we'll talk about it on Monday. But for right now, that'll do it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Chip Shot Football Podcast. Go out, go enjoy this game. It's set to start in about half an hour. But also, please remember to tune in to all the live shows of the GSMC Chip Shot Football Podcast each weekday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe to the show, as well as following the network on all forms of social media. I'll see you guys back here on Monday to recap all the games, talk about storylines, and all the latest headlines around the NFL with myself, Manny Maradiaga, as your host. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you back here on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to